let me just start with a disclaimer, because I'm grown and I'm mature and I'm a better person now. My disclaimer is that I was going through a lot in high school, and I made some questionable decisions, and there are a lot of bad choices that I made, and some of them ended up in some really funny stories.
Okay.
But the majority of them were not good decisions. I would say none of them were good decisions, but some of them just happened to end up being a funny story. So basically, I'm just going to out myself in a couple funny stories that do not divulge the completeness of my delinquency.
I'm like, we don't want to incriminate her. So.
Yeah. Welcome back to Girl vs. Girl podcast. I'm Melissa.
I'm Kylie. This is our second episode.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
Now.
I know. Today we are going to do a little high school experience comparison, I guess. Basically, Melissa was much more rebellious in high school. I was a lot more naive, just kind of clueless, wholesome. And we're just going to kind of compare them. That's kind of it's going to be hilarious is what it's going to be. But yeah, do you have any weekly updates, any life updates?
I know our life updates, because we always life update each other anyway.
Yeah, before we get into the actual topic.
I feel like my life updates, I just gave you a little update that we started Booker on some solids.
Yeah, was today the first day you did anything?
Can you even count that as I mean, I guess it was in a solid chunk.
I think that counts.
I need to figure out what those are called. It's like a little... Like it has like a handle, and he can hold onto it, and it has like a screw on top, and it's like a binky nipple, but like with holes in it, and it's like way bigger.
Yeah.
And you put food in it, and he like sucks and gnaws on it, and like effectively gets something.
Some of it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The moms know.
Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about. So we gave him a little banana, and it was completely uneventful because I shoved it in his mouth, and Jake was videotaping, and I was ready to and he goes. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, no big deal.
And then just finished it. And I was like, all right.
I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah, at least he wasn't didn't hate it. But yeah, so it was really uneventful. We had a little halfway to one party. Was it last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, last night.
So cute.
It was so fun. We had you guys and another couple, and then one of my other friends that I know from college. And we're just
I was gonna ask you if you knew her from college or from work or what the situation was. I kind of thought that, but I was like, it's just such a small world that you guys would have.
I know. Well, we had English class together.
Yeah.
In college, and she had a completely different major, and then she worked at Dutch, and I worked at Dutch.
Oh, okay.
And so then we knew each other through Dutch, and then when I dropped out, and then Jake graduated and we moved. We didn't talk, at all, really. We were just, acquaintances. And then I just was at work one day, and she just walks in and goes, "Hi, I just got hired here."
That's funny.
I was like, okay, cool. And then we
hilarious.
became besties.
Yeah. That's a side tangent, but
yeah.
I was thinking that last time, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, but it was fun. I'm glad she showed up.
Yeah, super
cute.
We had
a lot of fun. Cute little pictures. We celebrated Coast, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's their week apart.
Yeah.
That was another thing on my weekly update, that I made cake, and it was from a box. I was going to make it from scratch, but I made it from a box, but I made the buttercream frosting from scratch.
It's delicious.
And I was telling Jake this morning, I said, I don't know if it actually tasted that good, but I was like, I love Kylie, because the first thing she said was, "Melissa, this cake's actually really good." And I was like,
did I say that?
Thanks. Yeah.
Well, I must have meant it, because I don't remember.
Oh, it made me feel so good.
I don't remember making
even if
a
you're
point
lying.
to say that. No, it was really good. I like homemade frosting, because I feel like frosting from a can is too...
Yeah.
It has a weird texture, you know what I mean?
It feels processed.
Yeah.
It tastes gross.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a moron in the kitchen, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm making things is
great.
really impressive.
Yeah, it was really good. And I honestly kind of like that you just did a box cake, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That is a fact.
Honestly,
Betty Crocker Funfetti
is
never wrong.
Yeah. And some people will make homemade cakes for stuff. And I love the whole vibe of it or whatever, but I'm honestly, yeah, you should have just done it.
It's so much easier to mess it up.
Yeah, it's not even as good as a box. I'm like, a box cake is good. So
that's something you always have to have in the cabinet.
Oh, not me.
Oh, I'm whipping one of those up on a whim.
A Wednesday night we're having cake. Funfetti cake.
Yes, Funfetti specifically. I feel like we finally cracked the code on night sleeping.
It's great.
It's been 6 months of no more than like a 4-hour stretch, but more likely the last 2 months, like 1 to 2 hour stretches. Yeah. So actual hell. And now we're getting like 4-hour stretches again. And I think we're on the up and up, but I think it's because we're doing crib naps instead of contact naps. And those just make me want to pull my hair out, especially when I have to, like, his full hour nap, put him back down 10 times.
Yeah, it's not actually even
and
a crib
sleeps
nap.
for like 3 minutes at a time. And then Jake goes in, puts him down, comes back down. He goes, he did 2 30-minute stretches. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But
it's good progress, though.
Yeah, it's good progress. Makes me happy. Those are my life updates.
Yeah, once he gets it, too, it'll be so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll miss the contact nap, but...
I already do miss it.
It's like the grass is always greener, though.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope he gets it because...
He will.
He is rebelling against the one with the boobs.
Yeah.
He goes, I know you have boobs. Like, why aren't they out?
Yeah. Like, why aren't they out?
Like, why? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll get it.
Okay.
That's all you
had?
had?
Life updates.
Okay. My life updates are pretty boring. We bought a steam mop today. My review on that is 10 out of 10. We bought a really nice one, which kind of leads me into my second update, which is that Kosa's army crawling like everywhere all of a sudden. And it's so much fun. But I'm like, with every step of having a baby, I'm like, the house has never seemed dirtier. I'm like, the floors are gross. A few weeks ago, we like shampooed all the carpets. Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Carpet cleaned them, whatever. We carpet cleaned all the carpets. I was even like before he was crawling because I was just like, we need everything to be much more clean. And we live in an old house with a dog, and it feels like nothing is clean. So.
Well, you live on a dirt road too, so.
Yeah, everything's just dirty, which I'm actually like fine. Like, I'm not like a germ freak or anything, so I'm really not worried about him being on the ground. For like a moment, it's fine, but like when he comes up and he's like covered in dog hair, I'm like, we can't be living like this with just dog hair everywhere. So anyways, got a steam mop today, used it today. It was great. So much easier than anything else I've ever used before. It was pretty penny, but I think I'm gonna really like it.
It was on sale though, so when you break it out between uses, it's free.
It's free. No, and it's really easy to use, which is like the thing of like, am I ever gonna mop if it's like a pain to mop? Honestly, no, that was part of the problem, because the mop that we have, it was just pain to use, took forever. It's like,
was it like an honest to God mop?
Yeah, but I've tried every other kind of mop. Like, I've tried the Swiffer, I've tried a spray mop, I've tried everything. A Swiffer is not heavy duty enough. So then that's when I got like the spin mop. What's that called? Like the O-Cedar spin mop that everyone was talking about.
You, like, step on the pedal.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, and that works. That cleans really, really well, but it's just a whole thing. Anyways.
Yeah, you can just whip that out.
No, you can't just whip it out, and you have to like replace the water with every room that you do almost, and whatever. Anyways, steam mop was great. Very easy to use. Plug it in, put some water in it. I don't think you even have to use cleaner with it. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, because it just it's such hot water that it
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Sanitizes itself, and I don't think you can put cleaner in it or it'll like ruin it. So we didn't put cleaner in it, but we kind of like sprayed the floors down with some cleaner before we cleaned.
I feel like that makes sense because when you sanitize baby toys, it's just boiling water.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my review on the steam mop. I also wanted to give a hot tub review. I was grasping at straws coming up with life updates. I'm like, what do I have?
I know, I was just reading your life updates and I was like, okay.
Just a bunch of product reviews.
I know.
No, we also got an inflatable hot tub. I feel like this is a life update because we use it literally every single night.
This is a bougie, nice item. Like, this is cool.
I'm just reviewing my bougie items. My steam mop, my hot tub.
Kylie's bougie.
I'm really not, because I've been wanting a hot tub for like years. But hot tubs are like $8,000.
Ridiculous. It's literally a bowl of hot water.
It's so hot. It's so dumb.
Like, it's ridiculous.
It's dumb. And like, for what? Like, for it to just be like super fancy, like, it's like you said, like, all I want is like,
I don't need a jet going like up my left thigh and like
No.
random. No.
So we ended up buying an inflatable hot tub, and let me tell you, it is incredible. It was
Life-changing.
It was $500 instead of $5,000+. A steal, and it's really small. You can get them bigger, but the one that we got is like the smallest one that you can get.
Like 2-person one.
Yeah, it's perfect size for just me and Chris. You could put, it says it's a 4-person. You could put like 4 girls in it. 4 guys could not be in it. You could maybe put like 2 couples.
I was on TikTok. It's like 2 guys sitting in a hot tub, 5 feet away.
No, their legs would be like touching. You could maybe do 2 couples, but
It'd be a tight fit.
yeah, it'd have to be like us, like we're
It's for the
close enough
girls
or whatever.
anyway.
Yeah, but you could probably do 4 girls in it. Anyways, it's just really nice. It's great. It's not fancy or anything, but it like does what you need a hot tub to do, and it's great for an inflatable hot tub.
Relax after the baby goes to sleep.
We use it every single night.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Every single night we go in there
Love
for
that.
like 45 minutes. It's so nice. So much nicer. We usually stay up like 2 hours after we put Coast down. And it's so much nicer than just like sitting in bed for 2 hours, like
I know, you guys go to
wasting
bed
away.
late.
I know. We like to spend, I like need that time to decompress. I've always been like that.
I probably think 10 o'clock's late.
Yeah, I know. 10 o'clock is like supposed to be when we go to sleep, but we usually stay up until 10:30.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're night owls at 10:30. Anyways, that's about all my life updates too. The weather has been so nice. I know, I literally put the weather on, but the weather
That's the one I saw and I was like, okay, Kylie.
the weather is so nice though. It's so nice. I feel like I don't have like seasonal depression, but when the sun comes out, I'm like,
Woo!
I know, it's so nice. I think it's supposed to snow next week. Did you see that? Yeah.
You know what?
It's
it doesn't
fake
faze me
spring.
because I tan. That's what
Yeah.
keeps me sane through the months.
I know, but it's so nice to like be able to go on a walk and like have it be really sunny.
I mean, yeah,
You know?
that's true.
Anyways, that's it.
Yeah, those were little life updates.
Do you have anything else? That's it,
No.
right? Okay. Like I said, we're going to do high school Melissa versus high school Kylie. We went to the same high school, but our high school has 3 small schools inside of it, and we were in 2 different small schools. And basically we like knew of each other, had friends of friends, but we were never really friends.
Yeah, we had like one friend in common, but we never. I
Yeah.
don't think we ever even really talked until.
No, I don't think we
Jamaica
really
that one time.
Yeah, I don't think we ever really hung out, talked. Clearly, we didn't hang out. We're gonna get into the opposite
I was gonna say, you would have
experiences.
hated me in high school.
Yeah.
I would have scared you.
Yeah, you would have shocked me to my core. Yeah, so we never like really hung out, but we like knew of each other, didn't become friends until years after high school.
Okay.
Anyways, we weren't friends in high school. Completely different experiences. Melissa was really rebellious. I had like more of a wholesome experience. And so Melissa's going to have a lot more to say, a lot more stories. I also have a terrible memory. I can't remember anything like before I got married. I literally
I had to ask Jake. I was like, do you remember some of the things that I did?
I can't remember anything. So I'm like, I have nothing specific to talk about, also because it just wasn't that eventful. So Melissa's going to tell like some specific stories. I'm going to kind of react, and also like I'll give you my little high school experience too, but I'm just saying it's not.
Basically, Kylie just wants to out me.
Yeah, there's not anything super notable for me to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
Do you want to give like we'll each give like a little overview of like what our high school
Yeah, sure.
experience
Do you
was
wanna
like?
go first? Because I feel like.
Do you want me to go first, and then you
Sure.
can just take
Yeah,
it
yeah.
away? Okay. When I was in high school, like I said, I feel like I had like a pretty wholesome experience. I
would say a little bit sheltered. I know you were talking
Yeah,
about that
I
earlier.
feel
We
like-
disagreed on sheltered, but there's some things that I tell you and you go, that happened?
sheltered, like
yeah?
kind of naive. Yeah, like Melissa will tell me stuff and I go,
I also worked at that high
I-
school
yeah,
later in life.
yeah. I'm like, I was completely unaware that kind of thing happened. Also, like I said, I have a really bad memory, so maybe like in high school I was like more aware that
You heard rumors or
that
something.
happened.
Yeah.
But it was not like at all like part of my life. My main thing with high school was that I did cross country, and I did that very seriously all 4 years, through the summer, through off season, like whatever. So that's kind of like I don't know, I guess like the basis of my high school experience, like that was very much like what I did after school. There wasn't really time for me to do anything after that.
But those were like your friends, your like community, your like
totally, yeah. But also like those were my friends in my community. Like any boy that I dated, I think almost every single boy that I dated in high school was on the cross country team. So it was kind of like they had the same experience as me. It wasn't like I was dating someone that had some completely different everyday life that was
you
gonna
always
like,
date at the same high school? Or did you date like other people at different high schools?
Always at the same high school, and pretty much everyone on the team. So yeah, that's kind of like my background. I was very serious about that. Didn't have time to do much else other than that. Wouldn't have dared to do anything else other than that because I took that serious. Also, I just have always been like kind of like a
good kid.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call myself like a goodie, but also like I was definitely like the kid in middle school where someone would come up to me and be like, Kylie, just say a cuss word, just so I can hear you say it. And I would always be like, no, like that kind of thing.
I feel like you're not like that now. Like I feel like you like have rebellious tendencies. Like I can talk you into some things.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You won't send your food back, but
no,
I can talk you into some fun things.
I suppose, but I feel like I was kind of like that back then too. It's not like I was like just no fun. I just was not doing bad.
You just didn't do bad things. You didn't get in trouble.
I didn't do super bad things. I was definitely like still a high schooler that would like stay out late with boys and like whatever. Like that was definitely still like part of my experience.
But
like
none.
Yeah, I just wasn't doing crazy stuff. Your turn. Take it away.
Wow. I had the opposite experience. Just for lots of different reasons. I just want let me just start with a disclaimer. Because I'm grown and I'm mature and I'm a better person now. My disclaimer is that I was going through a lot in high school and I made some questionable decisions. And there are a lot of bad choices that I made, and some of them ended up in some really funny stories.
Okay.
But the majority of them were not good decisions. I would say none of them were good decisions. But some of them just happened to end up being a funny story. So basically, I'm just going to out myself in a couple funny stories that do not divulge the completeness of my delinquency.
I'm like, we don't want to incriminate her. So.
Yeah. I think statute of limitations is up.
I'm just kidding. But
yeah.
It's a joke.
I'm going to keep it PG-13. Or try my best.
I don't think that these are PG-13, but maybe they are.
You think they're worse?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure though.
Well, that tells you something because this is my version of PG-13.
I know. I'm like this is a rated X.
I know. I sent you like before. I was like sending her ideas of like what let's vote on like some stories or whatever. I think I sent you literally like 17 things. Yeah. And Jake goes, "That's it."
I thought 17.
Just scratching the surface. Yeah. And you respond. You just go, "Sheesh." I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, my goal in life through my teen years were to just see how far I could push the envelope.
Were you like this, like, from freshman to senior year?
I've been like this my whole life.
You've always been like this.
In middle school, my mom worked at my middle school, and my mom wrote me a referral and fired me as her TA in the office because of something I did. I got dress coded or
it's not like,
something.
It's not like this was just like a 1 year.
I can remember in 4th grade sneaking mascara. I would get to school early, go in the bathroom, put mascara on, and then take it off before I got picked up.
Oh, your mom wouldn't
and like eyeliner and like
that?
Lipstick and no.
I love that.
I was always sneaking and lying and.
Would you, if you had a daughter, would you let her wear mascara and stuff in 4th grade? Yeah, me too.
I think I'd be a really good girl mom because, like, now looking back, I'm like, really, what's the harm?
Yeah, especially just mascara. I'm like,
I feel like my parents thought that wearing mascara at 4th grade was going to lead to like a sex tape or something. Like,
well, it might have. Who knows? Who knows what's out there?
Well, I still did it. So
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So that was just my like goal in life. I just thought I was a naive teenager who just thought I was invincible. And I just was like out to have the best time, and I kind of just didn't care about the consequences. Like, it's not like I was like naive to the consequences. I knew that there would be consequences, but that was almost the thrill. Is like, how much can I do without getting caught? But I did get caught a lot.
It couldn't be me. I'm not even kidding.
I was not the person that said no to anything. I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. When do we start?
Count me in.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I was not like that. I don't remember if you I don't think that you're going to say the story, so I'm not going to say the story. But one
can,
of one of the stories that you were maybe going to mention, I don't think you mentioned it, but one of the stories that you were going to say was how you, like, knew your principal so well.
Oh, she had a chair in her office with my name on it.
Yeah. I don't think
literally with, like, a label printer.
I don't think I ever talked to the principal.
Oh, her and I were nemesis.
Yeah, I would, if I ever got sent, which I didn't, but if I would have ever gotten sent to the principal, I would have been
for, like, Rotary Club or something.
I would have been shaking.
Oh, no, man. I walked up in there. I was like, called her by her first name. Sup? What now? We were on a first name basis.
What are we fighting about this time?
Yeah, we were rivals, for sure. Okay, so the one thing I was going to ask before I get into my stories, because we were only friends of friends, the only time we ever interacted in high school was, what was it, junior year?
That sounds right.
Like junior year for prom one year, I did your makeup because I had like a YouTube channel for makeup and like all that. And that was really the only time we interacted.
Did you know that I went to your small school my freshman year?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Were you in ties?
Yeah, I did. I think I had ties with you.
AM or PM?
AM?
Oh, okay, yeah, I was going to say that adds up because AM ties was always known as the good kids and the PM ties was always the bad kids.
Did you have PM?
Yeah.
Both years?
Both years.
Why do I feel like I think I had a class with you because I feel like I can like very vaguely.
I know, maybe.
I feel like it would have been ties. Maybe I had.
It would have had to have been ties.
Maybe I had afternoon ties. I don't know.
Ties. Yeah. But okay.
Anyways, yeah.
My question. Oh my gosh, I just burped. We can't hear that. That came from my soul.
Yeah, maybe we should. Okay, wait. What's your question?
Okay, my question is, did you ever hear like any rumors about me or like any like my dealings of getting in trouble or like did you ever hear anything? Because we did have one friend in common.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did she tell you anything? Did you ever hear anything?
I don't think I literally ever heard
really
anything.
That's crazy because like one campus but the small schools are so segregated.
They're so separated. Yeah, but I also just probably wouldn't have known.
Yeah, like, or you would have heard the name and been like, oh, that's crazy and probably not have cared.
I think that there was more kids like you in your small school.
That's what my small school was known for.
Yeah, than my
small school. The jocks and the troublemakers.
Yeah, which is probably also like part of why I just would have no idea because I feel like my small school, I'm sure that there was people doing bad things in my small school. But they probably wouldn't even have cared. Not as many people. And then, like I said, like I did cross country. It's not like I was like...
You were in a different world.
It's not like I was like... Obviously, I'm a girl, so I wouldn't have been on the football team. But it's not like I was like on a team like that. It was like cross country. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those are the straight A kids.
Yeah, and cross country at our school was not necessarily like the lame kids, I wouldn't say.
No.
But it's not the same as like the football boys. Like, it's definitely different. Yeah.
It was the more calm kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just...
I'm like, did you ever hear any rumors about me?
Dive right in.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of react and then...
Do you know any of these stories? Have I ever talked to you about any of these? I picked 4.
So
I tried to pick ones that I'd never told you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Go for it.
Let's start it off strong. I think it was my sophomore year of high school. I want to say sophomore year because I don't think that I could drive, which actually poses the question of how I even got to this party. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm at this party, 2 a.m. Things are going well. There's this older guy flirting with me, like, things are great, right? And then we hear a very alarming knock at the door. And if you're a party kid, you know what that knock means. It's not Pizza Hut delivering. Like, you know you're screwed. And I don't know, well, actually, I won't say that because they're probably young listeners. No, I'm not here to give tips and tricks. So, moving on. Anyway, so someone opened the door. It was obviously, spoiler, the police. And they had us line up, and they were sending us out the door.
Like,
home.
how many people were there?
50.
50.
Maybe.
Okay.
In probably like a 2-bedroom house in Medford or something.
Like, house this size?
No, probably smaller.
Whoa, okay.
In a literal neighborhood. I don't know why we thought we wouldn't get caught 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was probably on a weeknight, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like, it was not just like a weekend.
Yeah.
Like, there was weeknights. Anyway. And so I call a certain person who is an older just homie, you know? Like, you just have those family members that are just your homies that aren't going to tell your parents, and they're just going to be there for you, bail you out. So I call them, and it's probably 2 a.m. They were not shocked. They were like, yep, we'll be right there. And the cops had us, like, lined up, going out the door, writing us MIPs. And I'm on the phone with the person coming to pick me up, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I have never gotten an MIP in my entire life. I will say that. I came out unscathed, okay? And they're like, okay, this is what you're going to do. They're like, you're going to go to the bathroom. Like,
so they took, okay, I was reading this. Okay, I think I understand this more. So we have notes going.
Yeah. We had to, like, have our thoughts
We have
together,
notes
or
going
else
because
we'll just talk out of control.
Yeah. I had in my mind that they took you to the police station.
No.
Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
They write you MIPs on site, like, with a clipboard.
I get that, but then I thought they were going to, like, load you up and take you down to
No,
the
they just
station
disperse you into the street, and they're just like,
Okay,
leave.
okay, this makes more sense then.
It's kind of like one of those things, is if you're not, like, so out of your mind, and you're, like, coherent,
they're not going to take
it's basically
you in,
like, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
Basically, like, break it up.
Well, this makes more sense to me as you're going to keep going. They'll get it. But at first I was like,
what?
I was like, spoiler, but I'm like, she escaped from jail? But okay, this makes more sense.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so they're telling me on the phone, this person, and they're like, we're not here to name names, okay, guys? And they're like, this is what you're gonna do. This is obviously a very experienced person in their youth. So they said, you're gonna tell the cops you have your period. They're gonna escort you to the bathroom. You know those tiny little windows at the top of your shower?
Yeah.
Yay big. I got out that. I'm literally 5'0". Don't know how I got up to the window. I was alone.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Yep. And got out the window. I jump out the window. I'm in the front yard. And I look. Some kid grabbed this cop's clipboard with all the MIPs and just took off down the road. And we all were like, this guy is our hero. And I don't know what he did with all the MIPs. I think that, like, maybe 2 people from the party ended up getting MIPs. Wow. Took off. Everyone bailed. I had to hide in a bush for, like, 45 minutes until my ride showed up. And then they took me home. And I snuck back in my house, and all was fine. Like I said, we're keeping it PG-13. This is one of my
crazy
lesser eventful nights.
I know. That's crazy.
That night you probably would have, what would you have done if you were, like, were at a party like that and, like, you were like, I'm going to get an MIP, cops are here?
Well, I just...
Okay, but, like, say you did.
I would have lined up and done what I was told, and...
You would have just lined up and been like, breathalyze me.
Yeah. What do you mean, what would I have done? I would have just followed suit. I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't have been at a party, and if I ever was at a party, I truly do not think I would have been drinking. So I don't know what happens if you're at a party and you're hanging out, but you're not drinking.
Well, let me tell you. Whether you drank a drop or you are wasted or stone sober, a lot of times they won't breathalyze you, and they'll just say guilty by association, you're all getting MIPs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it honestly doesn't matter. If you're... Well, I won't say that either. We need to put, like, a rating on this for young listeners.
You're doing a good job.
Okay.
Next story.
Let's move
I have
forward.
I have a story to go with this story.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go first, and then I'll tell my...
Okay.
Not my version, but my story that's similar to this. But
yeah. I feel like the last one was, like, a little cookie cutter. This one, I think, is, like, probably my funniest story. And there's so many details I could get into, but, like...
Yeah, we've got to keep it short.
Yeah, I'll just, like...
keep it short.
Like...
Unfortunately.
Stick on, like, the most funny parts or whatever. Anyway, so me and 2 of my girlfriends worked at Dutch Bros. And every year, Dutch Bros rents out Brit for, like, a concert. And this year, it was Jake Owen. And this was probably this was definitely 2018, because we, like, were about to graduate. And I didn't even know this artist, whatever. You know, they have an opener. Opener normally plays 2-3 songs. Didn't even make it to Jake Owen. Didn't even hear any of his music before we were escorted out of the venue over the shoulders of security guards. That was also the night I lost my fake ID. RIP. We showed up not in our right minds. Obviously not sober. We're just drinking. And then used our fake IDs, drank a little bit more. And we're escorted out. My funniest memory of being escorted out is my friend still had a hold of one of her beers. And the guy was like, big guys, has her and is like trying to reach behind him to grab the beer out of her hand. And she's like screaming, just let me finish it. I paid $8 for this thing, please. Like, it was my last $8. She's like trying to drink it. And me and my other friend are like, well, this is just our fate. Like,
oh my gosh.
They didn't call the cops. They literally just tossed us out on our butts.
Oh, because it was just security guards.
It was just security guards.
Yeah. Okay.
They were cool. And so then we're like walking down the streets of Jacksonville trying to find my friend's car, because obviously we always had DDs. We were smart. We weren't like that dumb. And so we're trying to find our DD, trying to find the car. Lost my friend's car for a couple days.
A couple days?
Yeah, we went back the next day, and then like the day after, like could not find the car.
Oh my gosh.
No idea where we parked it.
Okay.
And so then our DD drove us home in his car. We made it back to our apartment. Senior year, I like was living with those two friends and like her 30-year-old uncle. And we like would throw parties every night or whatever in high school. So my senior year, I didn't really like live at home that much. And we went back and we thought, okay, that was the craziest night. Oh my gosh, we have all these fun stories. We stayed up, like, we were probably home at like 4 a.m. Next morning, we're like, where's my friend's phone? Like, where's the card? Like, we lost so many things. I lost my keys.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
This has like nothing to do with the story specifically, but this just made me think of this. So, in general, like, by far, Melissa is my most like clean, organized, I don't know, just like type A person. Like, if you walk into Melissa's house, she's like, sorry, my house is a pigsty, and there's like, you know, it's like a joke. It's like a little pile of stuff on her counter or something, like
out of line with the candle.
Yeah, like your house is always just so clean, along with, I mean, that's just an example. Like, your whole life is very like organized. Whatever.
Yeah.
When you were in high school, because obviously if you're like at these parties or like living in this apartment with like basically these random people or like whatever, basically like if you walk into Melissa's house, it's a brand new apartment, everything is like perfectly clean, like brand new,
updated,
like everything's
stuff.
just perfectly like aligned or whatever. My question is, have you like always been like that? I'm sure like to a point you were, like I can remember you in high school and you like loved makeup, and like I know that you were like that to a point, but like obviously if you're like hanging out at like these random people's houses on a random night, like you weren't in like, I imagine like these super nice
perfect
like perfect everything. You know what I'm saying?
All it takes is a couple drinks, and
you didn't care.
Your girl lets loose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's certain liquors I can drink, and there's certain liquors I cannot drink.
Well, sometimes I even feel bad when you come over here because I'm like, there's literal dog hair. Like, I can clean and clean and clean, and like there's still just dog hair. I just feel bad because your house is so clean. But then I hear these stories, and I'm like,
you were a little feral.
I'm like, I don't think dog hair was...
I mean, just sleeping on bathroom floors of random houses.
I'm like, I don't think dog hair on the floor at these places would have been a problem.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Anyways,
no. It just takes a couple, and nothing matters. You're just like, I'm just down for a good time. Okay. Anyway, lost the phone. It was literally like 4 houses down the street, just in the middle of the road. Someone had ran it over. It was shattered.
The phone. I thought you were talking about the car. I'm like...
Yeah. No, and then we went back to Jacksonville, retraced our steps, couldn't find the car for like days. Lost my keys. I think one of my friends lost one of her shoes.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it was the night of losses, basically. Apparently. We didn't see Jay Cohen, lost all our belongings.
Yeah.
But it was really funny. I still have these like videos on my Snap of these 2 friends squatting underneath the stairs of the Mexican restaurant in Jacksonville peeing. And
see, that's feral.
Pitch black.
That is feral.
Yeah, it's pitch black. I'm videotaping them, and one of them be like, "You're peeing on my foot. You're peeing on my foot," and the other one's just laughing, dying. And then she ended up falling in the dirt where her pee was. It was a whole...
See, that's sick.
That's disgusting. That's where even drunk me draws the line. I'm like, that's foul.
Like, I'll video
my
it,
car.
But yeah.
I wasn't squatting to pee in some dirt. I would at least pee in some grass, have some class. Okay? I guess that goes into my next little story here.
Wait, let me tell my story.
Okay.
That goes with that story.
Yeah.
Okay, the only story that I have that's even remotely close to this that made me think that this reminded me of. And this story, like, I definitely wasn't, like, it's not like I thought I was, like, being that bad. It's not like I was like, oh, this is really bad what we're doing or anything. But also, like, this probably is just honestly, like, kind of one of the quote unquote worst things that I've done in high school or in life. Like, now as a mom, I cut loose.
I'm like, are we talking my high school stories or my college stories? Because that's a whole different realm.
Yeah. Okay. One time at the Brit, I had my license, but I wasn't a senior, so I had to have been like sophomore or junior. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, but Hunter Hayes was playing.
Ooh, that probably would have been a big one.
And I really wanted to go, and I don't remember if me and my friend didn't go because we didn't have money to get tickets, or if tickets were sold out, or if we just waited until the last minute and there wasn't. Mm-hmm. Like, we couldn't get tickets. I don't know what the deal was, but we really wanted to go. And we were like, let's just go to Jacksonville and, like, we can park and, like, listen to the music from the car. And, like, we'll maybe get a little treat on our way. Like, whatever. Just make a little moment out of it. We can't go to the concert. Like, that's lame, whatever. We're like, okay. And we drive to Jacksonville and we're like, oh, let's park the car and we can, like, walk up to the fence. And I think that she saw, like, her aunt or she knew someone else that was, like, sitting right on the outside of the fence. She was like, oh, let's go see what they're up to and walk over to them. So we did, and then we're like, oh yeah, you can hear the music really good. And I think it was her aunt or uncle or someone was like, if you walk, so it was kind of like the side, like, here's the stage, and they were, like, kind of like at this fence right next to the stage on the side away from the entrance, if you're picturing it, I think. And there's, like, a road, and then it goes, anyways. We're standing there and we're like, let's go, like, to the back of the fence and then we can, like, look down at it. So we do that and we, like, walk up there and we're like, okay, yeah, cool, like, we can kind of see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear, whatever.
A little bootleg concert.
Yeah, whatever. And we were, like, completely happy with just doing that. And while we're back there, along this back part of the fence, there was a Brit worker. I don't know if he was, like, I think he was probably, like, a landscaper or a janitor, like, something along those lines. And he was along the back of the fence doing something questionable, some kind of questionable substance. We could smell it. And he, like, came up to the fence and was like, what are you guys doing? And we were like, oh, like,
what are you doing?
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? And we just explained, oh, yeah, we are just watching from out here or whatever. And he's like, you know, you could just jump the fence.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we couldn't. And he goes, yeah, you could. Like, he's like, I literally...
The fence is so short, too.
He's like, I literally work here. Like, there's no one... He's like, there's no one back here. Like, just do it really quick. He's like, I'll watch. Like, no one's going to see you.
I'll give you a boost.
He's like, just do it really quick. And I, like, looked at my friend and I was like, do you think we should? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Like, maybe. Like, I don't know. And I was like, I'll do it. And then I did it.
See, you're like that. You are like that sometimes. You'll just be like, okay.
I know, but that's, like, not that bad of a thing.
Well, no, but, like... You'll do some stuff.
I was like, okay. I was like, I drove, so if I do it, then she either has to do it or she's hanging out on the other side of this fence for the next 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did, and that's pretty much the end of the story. It was a great concert. I literally was in, like, my sweats, like, pajamas, because I wasn't planning on
You're planning on sitting in the car?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on, like, going to the concert, so but it ended up being a really fun night. Yeah. Anyways, that's my
back
Brit
to
story.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's such a cute story.
It is a cute story.
It is cute.
Yeah, it was cute. I think that's kind of mildly rebellious.
Yeah, you jumped a fence. That was your first fence.
Thank you. Yeah.
There you go.
First and only.
Really?
I'm sure.
Should I just hop back in?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Basically, my next one kind of, like, goes with the last one.
Yeah.
Is that basically me and two friends were living in an apartment senior year with her, like, 30-year-old uncle. And we just threw parties, like, every night.
Not creepy at all.
No, he was cool. He was super cool. He was, like, our bodyguard. So, like, that was a dynamic. But we threw parties probably every single night in high school. Like, every night. I don't remember any classes. Actually, I probably skipped more classes than I intended. Not just my senior year, but probably all 4 years of high school. I actually paid a kid in my Spanish class who sat next to me to help me cheat on the tests so that I could pass the class because I never showed up.
Yeah.
And when the teacher was like, how do you do so good? I go, oh, my mom's Portuguese. like that
She goes,
had anything to do with it.
Your mom works here, and she's not.
She's like, I'll go walk
you.
down to the office and ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that my mom...
I know. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's another disclaimer. I'm not fully outing myself here. My parents know 90% of what I did. There's like that 10% you just don't tell your parents.
Yeah.
But they know like 90% and they're not shocked.
Yeah.
I was... Goodness and obedience and like good kidness was not expected from me. So none of this is like shockers. This is like what my parents joke about on like Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. Like I'm the topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, the last story I think is my funniest story. It's not like anything super crazy, but I think it's the funniest. I had this boyfriend sophomore year that I was not allowed to see, literally under any circumstances. Every time I was caught seeing him, I would get grounded, which I mean, I would just sneak out anyway, but it was no-go for sure. And we were very on and off or whatever. So anyway, I got my license and I would drive to his house on the other side of town after school when I was supposed to be at home. A lot of times while I was supposed to be grounded or whatever. It always went off without a hitch. Okay. And for some reason, I'm in like downtown Medford, and I run over a nail or I don't even know what. I get a flat tire, but I didn't know that it was a flat tire. So I'm stupid, obviously, and I call my dad, and who works out of town. He didn't like live in town. And I was like, hey.
Wait, what time is this? Did you say that?
Like sophomore year. I just got my license.
Like what time at night?
Oh,
is
like
it
just
late?
right after school. Like maybe 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And I call him, and I'm like, hey, like the dashboard of my car has a new emoji. Like, what do I do?
Emoji. I like how you call it an emoji.
I have no idea what you call them.
I don't know how you call it either. But
That's what I say to Jake too. I call him. I go, "Hey, the car's blinking at me. What do I do?" And so I explain it to him, and I send him a picture, and he goes, "Oh, it says you have a flat tire or whatever." And I'm like, "Shoot, that's not."
You didn't just get out of your car to look?
No. Listen, I could get out and change a tire for sure, but at that point, I don't think I knew how. And so I was like, well, crap. I was like, what do I do? And he knew I didn't know how. And I was like, I literally just got my license, Kylie. I don't even think my 6 months were up.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, crap, what am I going to do? I'm literally 15 minutes away from my house, like across town where I'm very clearly not supposed to be. If I told him where I was, I couldn't just pawn it off on, oh, I was going to Target or whatever. He would know. And so he goes, okay, like they're really tight with our next door neighbors. He goes, okay, go get the next door neighbor and have him change the tire for you. And I was like, oh, yeah, totally. Sounds good. Will do. And he goes, okay, call me back when it's done. Let me talk to him. And I was like, no, you don't need to do that. Like, I'm in the driveway. Like, I'm home. Like, it's fine. I'll just let the flat tire sit in my driveway, you know? And he's like, no, I want to talk to the neighbor. And obviously he knows I'm never up to any good. So I was like, oh, crap, what am I going to do? So there was a quality tire like 2 miles away. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to drive there and have that dude change my tire. Like, I had like emergency cash in my car. This was an emergency. Full-on emergency. This is what I use this emergency cash for, my bribes. And I walk into this quality tire, and I'm like, I have about 30 minutes until my dad's expecting a call from me with the neighbor. And I'm like, listen, $50 to the first person that changes my tire for me and pretends to be my next door neighbor. And this dude was like, probably 40, 50. He was like, what? And he was like, like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, no, I need you to come change my tire to the spare, because I don't even know where it's at in the car. And then I need you to call my dad and pretend to be this guy. Like, this is your name. This is your life story. Like, I had to prep him. This was the performance of a lifetime. And I said, bonus points and like an extra 20 if you like really, really sell it. Like, this is life or death, okay? And I love how during this time too, I don't think that said boyfriend ever checked on me.
That's what I was going to say.
I was probably an hour late. He probably didn't even care.
I'm like, why didn't he change the tire?
Because he was a loser.
Yeah.
And so the guy changes the tire, whatever, and he's like, he fully committed to this, Kylie. Like, this was like an Oscar award-winning, like, performance. I was so impressed. He goes, what does the guy sound like? Like, what's his voice like? Is it deep? Is it like, whatever? And so the guy gets on the phone. He's like, oh, yeah, hey, my dad's name. Yeah, I got her right here. Yeah, I changed the tire. Yeah, no big deal. Do you mean to make sure she gets in the house safe? And, yeah, yo, totally, yeah, whatever. Everything. Like,
the guy's like 50?
Yeah. Like 50,
so
like the age of my dad.
Yeah.
And he's
probably
like,
the age of your neighbor.
Literally. And it's on speakerphone, and my dad goes, oh, yeah, man, we should go shooting this weekend. He goes, oh, yeah, the missus is doing this, whatever, but let's totally go. I got that new gun. I'm going to try it. Like, he sold it. And I thought, by God, I'm home free. No way. I just pulled this off. Well, this was probably on like a Thursday. My dad comes home Friday nights for the weekend. And sure enough, I wake up Saturday morning to that neighbor and my dad in the living room, just shooting the shit, talking. And I come out and I go, hey guys, what's up? Like,
waiting.
I had a poker face, but I knew I was screwed. And my dad goes, oh yeah, I forgot to thank you for, helping Melissa change that tire the other day. She's not supposed to be going anywhere. She's grounded right now. And so I'm glad that she was home. And, basically, I think my dad knew, but he was setting the neighbor guy up. And they were like, they're good buddies, to like rat me out, basically.
Uh-huh.
This neighbor goes, yeah, man, anytime. I was like, no way. I literally was like, there's no way that just happened.
It probably went right over his head. He's probably like, huh? Oh, yeah.
And he probably was like, oh, yeah, dude, sure.
Yeah.
I literally was like, ain't no way. And I knew my dad was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I feel like he still to this day doesn't believe it. But that's one of the stories I will maintain. That knock on wood that he doesn't watch this. But I'm like, no, I was home. What do you mean?
I feel like your dad will watch this, but he'll watch like the first like 3 minutes.
And then he'll be like, I watched it, sis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Love the supportive kings.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Those are my 4 little stories of me being a delinquent.
Yeah.
See, some of them are funny. Some of them are like not that racy and like are fine.
No, that one's just funny.
That one's
like
just
that
like
could happen
pure
to anyone. Yeah.
Comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for the emergency cash in my car.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I was like racking my brain. I'm like, do I have any like really?
I could have
stories,
a whole
but
podcast
really
episode on my car stories.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I ever got a flat tire in high school, I think I got it in the summer, but I was going to school to run in the morning and I got a flat tire. And so I called my mom's boyfriend. He came and changed it for me and like taught me how to do it. So then at that point I've never had to do it again, but I could if I needed to.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, put on my spare. He's like, meet me at Les Schwab and we'll get it, actually sorted out or whatever. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, where's Les Schwab?
Because you can't just drive on the spare.
Yeah. He's like, drive it to Les Schwab so that we can get that actual tire fixed or whatever. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, where's Les Schwab? And he goes, oh, it's over by Walmart. Like the Walmart that we go to. There's a Les Schwab, like,
there is.
slightly down the street. But when he said, oh, it's next to Walmart, I pictured, like, there's like Walmart and Hobby Lobby and Michael's and the pet store and like
Old
I
Navy,
pictured it was like in
that shopping center.
that shopping center. So I'm in that shopping center, like driving around. I'm kind of like shaken up because I'm like freshly 16, like driving around on this like little donut spare tire, like driving super carefully, like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, where is this Les Schwab? Like, I'm so confused. Like, where is it? And so I'm kind of distracted because I'm like thinking about driving really carefully, the tire, like looking for this Les Schwab, like whatever,
Stressed.
like doing this whole thing in my head, and I'm getting like anxious. And I literally, there's like a 4-way stop in that shopping center with that really big median.
And oncoming traffic doesn't stop or whatever.
I think they do stop, but I don't even know. But there's that big median like to the side. I think it's like right in front of the McDonald's right there.
Yeah.
And every single time you drive right through right there, I feel like everyone would say like it kind of sticks out or whatever.
It does.
I high centered my car on that, and I ended up just like backing it off, and the bottom of my car was like yeah. And then
like, that can't be good. Good thing I'm going to Les Schwab.
I know, I'm like driving like this little tiny Corolla, like,
Corolla gang.
And one of the hubcaps of my other tire popped off. So then I'm like crying. I'm crying because I'm like,
did you get out and get
like,
it?
what is going on? So I pulled into it's right
it's
next
a
to that
goner.
McDonald's. No. So I think I like literally called my mom's boyfriend and I'm like,
Help.
what do I do? And he's like, okay, well just pull over and go and grab.
Stop driving first of all.
He's like, just stop.
Turn the car off.
He's like, pull over and go out and grab the hubcap. Like we can just put it back on. It just clips back on. Okay. I'm like literally crying at this point because I'm just so like jarred at like what is happening. And I like pull into the McDonald's park. I'm like, okay, I can see the thing. He's like, okay, just go grab it. Like, and it's kind of like in the road, but it's not a road. It's just like a road.
It's like
along
inside the shopping
back
center.
of the
It's not like
parking
crazy.
lot.
Yeah.
As I'm like parking my car, like hopping out of my car, someone goes by and runs this hubcap over and shatters it into 1,000 small pieces. I'm like, I'm like feet away from it. I'm like, okay, this is just what's happening. Anyways, eventually I found the Lush Bob, but I'm like, cool.
Yeah, great.
That's my only flat tire story that I have from high school, but it was hilarious, but it was not rebellious.
Yeah. No, that's funny. I feel like if this episode strikes your fancy, one, I have plenty of material. Two, we could also do a college version. Because I did go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
What episode are we going to do next week? Like, we haven't even talked about, we haven't gotten that far, but I'd like...
Hey, we can mark something off our to-do list. Film EP2.
Yeah.
We did this one. Oh, next week. Oh, this one will be funny. And I feel like this one will be a little bit longer than our 45-minute one. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we picked one.
Things we simply do not understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you want to know what? Little spoiler. Kylie thinks that she understands something that I don't understand. But we're probably both idiots. And we're probably both going to sound like idiots.
Actually don't understand it.
Actually, it's this. And everyone listening will be like,
actually,
not even close.
I'll probably be like that with like everything that you say too, because
you can't research it before.
No, I won't. No.
Okay. Oh, I have plenty of things. I
saw one podcast where they did this, but then they did research each of them and they like
tried to understand it.
Yeah.
That's too much for me.
I think it makes
I'm fine not understanding these things.
Same.
Like, I really don't care.
Same. And I kind of feel like it's one of the, like, a lot of those things where it's like, honestly, I don't understand whatever it is. And you go down this rabbit hole of trying to understand it.
And you still don't.
And it's like, I'm more confused. That's how it is, like, if I ask
Or your know-it-all
Chris,
husband mansplains it to you, and at the
how
end you're like, no comprende.
I'm like, how does this work? He's like, well, the electrons, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what's an electron? Well, it's like, it has atoms and I'm like, so what's it like? You can't describe
how
it.
How does the cell divide?
I
don't know. It just does.
Yeah, I don't know how to understand it because I can't understand the things that you're explaining it.
Yeah, no.
So
Jake being like a math major or whatever, with his engineering crap.
With quotes, he is actually.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. He graduated, I guess.
I guess he has a job.
He'll explain some things to me, and I go, you know what he likes to do? In public, in front of people, he'll be like, what do I do for work? I design roads?
Not me thinking.
I don't know.
Not me thinking that a mechanical engineer is like mechanic.
Yes. Kylie thought that Jake was a mechanic. Jake graduated.
I didn't think he was a mechanic, but I just thought he like did engineering on cars.
Oh,
or something.
Because he's a mechanical?
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
Chris is like, no, Kylie, it's like how things like mechanism and or
basically,
I don't even know what he said.
I don't even know. He graduated with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
And he's not even a mechanical engineer anymore. He's a civil engineer for the city.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jake will be like, so what do I do? I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. And he'll explain it to me. I'm like, these complicated words, I go, I don't even know what those words mean. Won't remember them.
Yeah. I
tell people you design roads.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know.
I think that's good enough for most people.
Yeah, it works for me. But I think that'll be a funny episode because the amount, when I saw you put that on our shared note as like a podcast idea, I go, oh,
yeah,
let me tell you. And I start typing all these things that I don't understand. I go, I can go in on this one.
Yeah. No, it'll be so funny. We have a bunch of episodes that are going to be hilarious.
Funny like that, yeah.
If you guys have any podcast requests, ideas, let us know. We're
setting up a Reddit page.
Yeah.
We'll get that going.
Yeah. We'll have to say more on
that.
By
the time this is out, maybe we'll have it get going. But for the time being, you can message us.
Yeah.
On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You're like,
but nope. No promises though.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Yeah.
But DM us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you have it. Your Am I the Asshole stories, dating horror stories. Dating advice.
Yeah.
Let's just give you advice, even though
we're super qualified.
Honestly, we have top tier husbands.
I know, but we didn't have to really date like as adults either.
No, we did not date as adults. I've known Jake since I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
But I've had my fair share of complete losers.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get to Jake. He was always just there. He's my friend.
Yeah.
So we can impart some knowledge.
Yeah, no, totally.
We have some opinions.
It'd just be funny to react and stuff too.
Yeah. And the other thing too is we won't be nice. If you say, is my boyfriend a loser, and you tell us some things, I'm going to straight up say, yeah, your boyfriend's a loser.
Well, I might be a little nice.
Oh, I won't be.
You'll have both of us here.
Kylie will sugarcoat it a little bit. I'll be like, he's a literal drug dealer. You should probably dump him.
I'll be like, Melissa, what were you doing?
Kettle black.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're doing next week.
Yep.
Every Thursday. Come listen. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are posting on Thursdays.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm like, today's Sunday, Kylie. It's our filming day.
Record on Sundays. Post.
And we haven't heard any babies screaming yet, which is good.
I did hear a baby screaming.
I think it was Booker practicing his yelling.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's yelling.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, see you guys next week.
Wrapping
Thanks
it
for
up.
listening. Yeah. Okay.